You can check out all the episodes of The Table of Truth on our website, www.tableoftruth.com.
You're listening to The Basements.
Greetings, world. This is GoT, and I am Anthony. To my left is.
Hey,
This is
go ahead.
Sorry, didn't want to step on your toes there. This is Cameron Collins reporting from the left coast, and I'm giving you the scoop via satellite from San Jose.
Alrighty then.
And hey, this is Theon DJoy, cruising the sails of the seven seas. What's going on, fellas?
Everybody doing good, and everybody, welcome to the Table of Truth. We have a new sound, new look, because a lot of people have been complaining we're too hard, too rough, too raw. So now we're gonna give it to you how you like it. So, what's going on, y'all? We back.
What up, y'all?
Don't worry about it. We back. Ain't nothing changed. You know what I'm saying? How's everybody doing? D, Cam, how
Chilling,
y'all
man.
doing, man?
Rewatching that Jesse Williams speech. Got it as my my computer about to die. Hold up, y'all.
Told you, y'all, ain't nothing changed. It's only right. It's only right. So, Cam, what's good, Cam?
Man, just trying to get through this Ramadan and maintaining and catching all the news as it comes. For the most part, it's been an interesting month, interesting year for the most part, interesting month, and an interesting couple weeks so far. So,
I
got
hear
a lot
that.
to talk about.
Yes,
I heard that. But before we even get to any topics, I want to know what you thought about the OJ documentary, because to me that's the best documentary I've ever seen. I want to know what you think about that before we get into our topics.
I think it was. Just say it was one of the better documentaries is a fair assessment. Very interesting because as I was watching it, I kind of lived it. Those moments in a sense, around the trial per se.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know the early life of OJ, and it added it put a new perspective on how I feel about the trial and OJ and the circumstances leading up to it. There was a famous line in the documentary where OJ didn't consider himself black. He just said, "I'm OJ Simpson." And for me, that line is, part of me wants to take that for face value, because there's a point where we shouldn't look at color. We always, when we go for a job interview, we always say, hey, it shouldn't matter what I look like or how many tattoos. If I can do the job, I can do the job. And I don't know if OJ really meant that. He was trying to look beyond and be transcendent against for race and just say, hey, just judge me for just being OJ Simpson. But I think OJ Simpson also was just in a denial and didn't really fit in. He was a different type of cat. And that documentary, the film kind of highlighted the very highs and the very lows of OJ Simpson, which I didn't know at the time, especially growing up in the LA area during the OJ trial and the LA riots,
Ronnie
being
King,
part of
all that,
the Ronnie
yeah.
King, Tasha Harlan's thing. That was a lot to take in.
Yeah, there was that documentary, just like Ann said, I think it's one of the best that have ever been made. And I'm not from the West Coast, so I didn't know a lot of the history. I knew there was definitely racial tension out here between LAPD and the cops. I mean, I just never knew how deep it got. And some of those stories, I was like, wow. And then seeing OJ and seeing like Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, and all of those guys sitting down at a table, Bill Russell, and these guys are fighting for equal rights. And I get what OJ's saying, but at the same time, in those times in America, no one's looking at you just like OJ. For some reason, you know what? Let me take that back. For some reason, they did. Like, he was able to just like fit in. He wasn't classified as being black and white. It just, everyone gave him a pass. They loved him. And then you get to see as it went on how black people supported him, how he became, which is kind of crazy, like a civil rights kind of like person. And then from there, he wanted to embrace his blackness, but like they said in the documentary, a lot of people felt that was fake, and he was trying to just like keep up with appearances. But it was done perfectly. Like, it wasn't biased. They didn't make you choose a side. You just heard all sides of the stories, all sides of the story, and you make your own assessment. So it was one of the best documentaries I've seen in my life.
Good point. And what I took out of it, one was how divided we was as a people. How a lot of America was like, I didn't even know they lived like that. Like they pretty much thought OJ was the all be all, and that's how we all were. And it's like, how can a whole country or not know what's going on and who we are? So that was one that struck me. And two, I feel bad for the wife, man. She got the raw, and like,
Yeah.
how the trial made it seem like it was just OJ is the victim, and it's like, yo, somebody here died.
So
And don't forget Ron Goldman too, man.
And Ron Goldman
Yeah.
too. Sorry, Ron Goldman too. Both
Let
of
me
them got the.
let me paint a picture for you. So, like you said, there is that aspect of the LAPD, the Rampart Division, and all this police brutality. So, me coming up, our era of coming up, early '90s and whatnot, and we looking at this, and hey, we see cops brutalizing Rodney King, and they get off scot-free with pretty much a slap on the wrist. We see the Latasha Harlins, in my opinion, is what lightweight started the riot, where the lady got off with 400 or 500 hours community service.
See, yo, I was too young. I didn't even know that story, honestly, until I watched the documentary.
I forgot about that story. I forgot about the story, but I remember that was the low-key jump-off point because we had just got done with Rodney King.
Yeah.
So, hence the
like,
riot.
I don't think that story was a national story like Rodney King was.
No.
I remember that story.
Yeah.
But in LA, it was.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
where the riot started. Shit.
So when the riot started. So after the Rodney King and the cops got off, nothing kind of really happened. People were upset. But after Latasha Harlins happened, where Korean Stoner gets away with pretty much cold-blooded murder, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And okay, so I'll give you a scenario. I'm in Compton Unified School District. I was too young to riot because as a youngin', I was like, hey, I want to get some basketball cards, some clothes. I didn't know the significance of a riot. I was very ignorant. My mom, she was out there doing what she was doing. Being from a single mother home, she was out there rioting just like the rest of the black folks. But again, you look back on it, there was really no direction. It was just a lot of anger and a lot of upset people wanting to vent their frustrations. And I don't know if they had any other way, but that's the means that they did it. So with the whole OJ thing, fast forward, we kind of were like, okay, I think the city of LA was like, in the back of the mind, unconsciously, they were like, we do not want another riot.
Yeah.
So because I was plotting, I was like, I missed the first one, I'm going to be in the second one. I don't care.
And you were a little bit older too. It's a couple years later. Yeah.
A couple years later, and I was still ignorant, but I didn't care. We just saw this as another famous black man being persecuted for all the wrong reasons. Hence, before the doc, I didn't know OJ the human being. I knew OJ the athlete. I knew OJ the actor. I knew OJ the person that was at the time I thought falsely accused because of some of the evidence that was being portrayed. Now, what the doc brought out to light was OJ. OJ is from the hood, just like us. He's from San Francisco. Hunter's Point. Yeah, so he really with the quote unquote shit. In the early years, they kind of show a testament. They playing dice. He's just a young kid. And he made it. And go ahead.
Nah, but and to tackle off your point, that's what made it even worse because he's the biggest hypocrite and front runner because he knew the struggle and he forgot all about the struggle once somebody presented him a way to get out of the hood.
Yeah,
he pretty much forgot about the hood. So that's when I was like, yo, you are the biggest sellout.
Well, he's been a sellout. He was a sellout since his childhood, and I don't want to go too far into it, but you look at his entourage, his upbringing. And he really didn't associate with us. I mean, the whole trial, the lawyers were the best lawyers the money can buy, and they painted him from being like pretty much an Oreo to like a brother. And they put pictures of black people in his house. He didn't have no black people in his house. You know, he
Yeah.
didn't associate himself with black people. He didn't care for us. He didn't want to join the movement. He even said it in a later interview that they tried to recruit me, but he was like, I want to do what I want to do as O.J. Simpson. So, you know, they made it. It was two parts that stood out to me, and this one was from a white dude. And the white guy said he was at a luncheon with OJ and 5 or 6 other prominent athletes. And
I think it was Joe Namath.
yeah, something like these are all black athletes.
Oh, okay.
And
with the white lady. Go ahead.
the white lady goes out and says, "Look at OJ." She says, "Look at OJ Simpson with those 6 niggers." And the guy that hit a part of OJ's entourage, a white dude, was like, "Yo, OJ, he's apologizing," and OJ was like, "No, you don't get it. She gets it. You know, she doesn't see me as just another black guy. She sees me as O.J. Simpson." The guy retorts and says, "That's when I knew O.J. was fucked in the head, pretty much."
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, so O.J. had lost it. He was in denial a long time before all this other stuff.
Yo, I didn't know he was on his pimp shit, though. I didn't know all that. I was like, yo, OJ, you said F it. Once people started not liking you, OJ was like, I'm going to do me. I did not know he lived that life at the end.
OJ probably
professional athlete. Yeah, he's a womanizer to the core, yo.
To the core.
He said that when him and Nicole was going through it, and he was CTE, man. If this ain't a prime case of CTE.
Oh yeah, he got examined. You know he got that.
And as big as his head is, yeah. That CTE was ridiculous. If that was the case.
And that's no means to justify the blatant murder, because I mean.
So let me ask this: as a kid, I'm gonna ask both you guys: did you feel OJ was guilty or not?
No, because I didn't want to believe it.
Okay.
I thought it was another case of him.
And how did you feel? Did you feel he was guilty when you were a kid, or did you feel he wasn't guilty?
When I was a kid, I was rooting for him because, again, after Rodney King and after, you know, when it comes to police brutality, we on the victim side, and I thought he was a victim at the time. I was rooting for OJ. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I mean, rooting is different than feeling if he was guilty or not.
At the time,
for
me, I didn't get into did he really kill her. All I was saying is, yo, OJ didn't do it. That's OJ. So
only reason why. Yeah, like my stepdad will watch it. This is when we had court TV. Like I don't even know if the channel's around anymore.
Oh yeah, I used to watch that C-SPAN.
Every day he would watch it. So like sometimes I'll be doing my homework and watching the trial, and then he's watching CNN. So like I started to get like a pretty good idea of the case. And initially when I heard it and everything was presented, I was like, yo, this dude did it. But then just like how Johnny Cochran painted it as the police bringing in how they treat like black people, and then the whole Mark Furman thing.
Yeah, that was a turning point.
I was kind of undecided there. I was like, yo, I don't know if he did it. Could be a setup.
Yeah, could be a setup.
But I wasn't straight saying he didn't do it. Like I was like, all right, let me see what they say in court. And I think the defense, unfortunately for Nicole and Ron Goldman, I feel like they presented a great job. And the reason why I say unfortunate is because do we even have another suspect to this day and age? Like,
nope.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yo, to be honest with you too, the only thing that really got me mad, I'm not making a joke. I ain't making a joke. Is he messed up my Knicks game? I was watching Knicks when that happened.
Everybody was watching.
And that was the first time, like I told you, first time I seen picture in picture. Some little screen came on, and I was like, yo, why they took the volume off and going to this damn OJ thing? I will never forget that. I will never forget that day.
The OJ is like Bill Cosby in comedy. OJ was loved.
Oh hell yeah.
He couldn't do no wrong. And I'm gonna be honest, man. I didn't care. I didn't even need to see the evidence. I just said, hey, OJ innocent. I don't care. And I really believe that. I really believe that. Now after this documentary, that boy guiltier than Thomas Jefferson saying he didn't own up the slaves. Boy, he is guilty. The prosecution deserved to lose that because they blew it. They thought they had an open and shut case. The LAPD blew it. They literally dropped the ball, fumbled, you know, because if this happened now, he would have been locked up a long time ago. And that's the whole point of this, him getting locked up for this asinine charge of taking back what he already owns that was stolen from him.
We're going to have to call up freaking Brian Stark, get some information, yo. Maybe he'll tell us. Get Brand to tell us who did it or not. He'll just have to let him know, because honestly, I don't know. All the evidence point that he did it, but I don't know, man.
I know he did it. He-
That was.
how you
But
come out with a book? If I were to do it,
Yeah,
this
that's
is how
kind
I
of
would do
crazy.
it. He did it. Now, which is surprising me. How did he do it? Two people. It was 2 against 1. That's what I was like. Unless he caught up and snuck up on somebody. Like, I still don't understand that. You know?
Well, the way they made the reports was that he attacked Nicole first, and then Ron came, and he jumped on Ron. Like OJ's what 6'2", 200 something. So
that dude is big, man.
yeah, not saying it's easy work, but I think he had a fucking knife on him. So yeah, I've never seen the pictures until they showed it, and
Yeah,
I was
that was.
like,
Yeah,
I couldn't even
wow,
watch it. I couldn't
that
even
was,
look at it.
that was disturbing, man.
yeah, he's crazy, man. When I seen that, I said, "Wow, this guy's a lot of anger, man. He's not
But
overstairs."
definitely one of the best documentaries. It's going to go down as one of the best documentaries made.
Yeah.
I still love Hoop Dreams and all those type of stuff, but it's right up there for me.
Now,
Yeah,
this gave a social economic understanding. Um, in a sense, there was a part of me that kind of felt sorry for OJ because I know he's not all there. No logical, like he was really on one. He was crazy. He was manipulative. He was a stalker. He was nuts. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he was in denial of his own people.
Yeah.
Like, there's a small amount of pity I feel for him, but to say he's an idiot, and I think he did it, and I don't feel sorry for him because I think the evidence, especially from this doc, that he really did. Whose phone is ringing?
Probably ants. Sucker.
And logged up.
No.
But
nah,
yeah,
it's good. We're good. We good. We good.
all right. But yeah, man, go ahead.
One thing they didn't touch on though, I mean they kind of touched on, but they didn't want to go too deep because that would have been a whole different documentary. They kept on mentioning the whole Marcus Allen thing. I remember hearing that when I was younger, but
Yeah,
definitely sounds
Marcus
like
Allen.
there was some
Marcus Allen
jealousy
got
there, man.
some.
Yeah,
Marcus
yeah.
Marcus Allen got a little taste, and I think there's that little rumor about Khloe Kardashian. They was all kind of cool with each other.
Anytime there's a Kardashian involved, somebody gets killed or hurt, man. I'm telling you, man.
Well, they said they asked Rob Kardashian how close he was with OJ. He was like, "We're really close." Like,
Oh, they probably was having orgy parties or something crazy.
exactly.
Yep.
I wouldn't be
Yep.
surprised, man.
That
Like, if
whole Hollywood scene is weird, man.
yeah.
I don't
So,
want to know what goes on behind closed doors out there.
but overall, it was a very good doc.
Okay.
It really touched on a lot of things that I didn't have any knowledge of on
Not at
OJ's
all.
past.
And
And
about like kind of like the past of like LA and sort of like Black history. There's a lot of stuff I feel like I didn't know about watching that.
yes, yes, and I think Al Collins is loyal to a fault, man. Like,
Yeah, you gonna let that's like one you guys stealing my girlfriend, and I'm like, oh okay, don't worry about it. Like he was scared to tell OJ no.
and he was
Yep.
bigger than OJ, which is crazy.
He looked bigger than OJ.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now that we got that clarified, we all could say that that's a good documentary. So now let's get on to some more pressing news, and let's talk about the Brexit situation.
The British exit.
Brexit. Sorry.
No, I mean, it's
Oh, yeah,
Brexit, but
same thing. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's the same
So
thing.
it's
But
pretty much Britain's voted to leave the European Union. So I want to know what's your take on it first, Ken?
let me clarify. The UK decided to vote on leaving the European Union.
Yeah.
Now it took me a minute initially. I didn't know what the heck was going on. I just saw it trending, and so I had to read up on it a little bit. And basically, from what I can tell, this comes down to some almost racial ramifications, sort of that runs parallel what's going on here with the Mexicans in the United States, where the UK is saying that all these immigrants are coming in. Because when I think of the UK, I think initially one of the most I don't know if liberal is the right word, but a place where anybody can go and you're welcomed. And now, from what I'm hearing and what I'm reading, is that people that live in the UK are concerned that the immigrants are taking the jobs and the housing situation, and sort of that runs parallel with like they think of minorities and immigrants here. They come in and taking the jobs and they're not working, blah blah blah, and hence they want to stop that and ban. And there's a lot of racial ramifications, which kind of led to this UK issue of them wanting to not be a part of the European Union, and they held a vote for that, and apparently in a surprising vote, I think it was 50. I think the vote by margin was like 51.9 to 48% in favor of leaving the EU for a multi-year period of negotiations that will allow Great Britain to revise its terms in its participation in the EU and possibly lead to a complete withdrawal from the organization entirely. That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of people were upset within the UK, and they're trying to figure out how could this happen. And a lot of mixed. I put a poll up. I showed you guys a graph earlier in the week about how the youth voted against it, or not against it, for it, and didn't think their vote counted. You know, and a lot of older generation Europeans voted for it to leave the EU. I don't know if both parties knew or understand the full ramifications of it, but it's a big blow to the economy, because right after that vote happened, the currency was almost devalued. Well, it actually was devalued. It went down some points. The stock went down. So the only reason we didn't hear about this because it only was brought up because it dealt with financial ramifications, not a global standpoint. And now that it's kind of reached this boiling point, we're starting to see for the ruling for what it really is. I don't know what the immediate and significant consequences for both parties in Great Britain and around the world, but it's a scary feeling because, like I said, we got this guy that's running for office, Donald Trump, and he's pretty much kind of preaching the same thing. And we've been preaching you can also say most of our friends who understand the situation of going to vote, understanding the right to vote, what's going on with the politics nowadays, understand what's going on. But it's for the people who don't understand that this can come to fruit, just like that can come to fruit. No one thought they would leave the EU. So that's why we have to, like, on our end in America, dealing with the situation currently, we have to stress the vote and how important going out and voting and making the right choices and educating yourself on the candidates and the policies and the politics of it all.
I totally agree on that one. We're more than ever now. Our voice is more important than anything else now, because these politicians, the government, we're leaving it to them, man. At the end of the day, man, they're just not getting it done, and it's going to be up to us now to voice an opinion. And if that means we have to take 3 steps back to get things done, then I'd rather take three step backs, knowing that I'm going to get something out of it this time around, instead of us always behind the 8 ball and shit still is not getting done. You know what I'm saying? So more than ever now, after looking at all this, our voice more than ever now has to be heard, and I think will be heard, because we cannot have what's taking place over there happen over here. We already terrible as it is with schooling and jobs. We don't need any more bullshit. Excuse my French, but
I feel like history's gonna repeat itself. Like we allowed George Bush to be in office for 8 years, and I feel like, quote unquote, I guess the payback, or we had Obama for 8 years. So I feel like if Hillary doesn't make it, then we know definitely it's gonna be Donald Trump. And unfortunately, like just like in the UK, there's a lot of, granted, it's like there's big city parts, and just like in America where we think people are accepting and welcoming, which they are, but we can't forget about the sticks, man. There's a lot of areas where people are racist and ignorant, and it's unfortunate. In America, like I have no clue why people think Mexicans are taking everybody's job. Maybe it hasn't happened to me. I don't know what the stereotype is, but I just
I don't want to say just Mexican. I just want to say immigrants.
Okay, all right, my fault. You said Mexican, so that's why.
Yeah, no, that was just an example.
Oh, because what Trump was saying.
But
yeah, but
immigrants
I mean,
in general.
It's America. Everyone's a fucking immigrant. So for them to say that, for anybody to say that, huh?
Except the Mexicans, they own this.
Word, word. But I feel like for anyone to say that, it's like, yo, do you even know what country you're living in? Like, no one lives here. No one was born here. Like, quote unquote, we're all immigrants. Like, of course, our great great grandparents settled here, but no one was originally here. So in my mind, it's like, why are you complaining? This is a spot where anything can happen. If I lived in another country, I would want to come to America. Like, I would want to have opportunity. There's so many countries out there where you're born poor and that's it. America is one of the few countries where you have a chance to to change your outcome, to change your fortune. So, I mean, for people to go against what makes America quote unquote great just because they're racist, it's mind-boggling to me. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of youth, just like what happened in the UK, they're gonna look at this and be like, "Oh no, we're gonna be fine. People are gonna vote, but it's not gonna be them who's gonna go and
Well,
vote, and then it's gonna mess everything up." I
well,
hope that's
can I,
I hope that doesn't happen, but I won't
well,
put it past it, man.
I got a question for both of y'all. I want y'all to respond off this comment. I personally think it's getting to the point where a vote really won't matter, and what really will matter if we in our community know who our senators are, our governors, who are running our communities, because all the crimes and the poverty what's happening within our community, they have leaders and board members for that. And I don't think now we just can just vote and it change what happened, because honestly, I voted. I love Obama. I love the things that he's done. But when I see my community, I see certain neighborhoods, nothing has changed. So it really doesn't matter what a president is. It's about voting for these politicians, these governors, these mayors. Who's your city council? I think that's where we need to focus more of our attention on,
Dude, I
opposed to
totally agree
just
with that
saying
100%, man. Like,
also just saying just president, because honestly, one person is not changing our communities. You got people dying in Chicago, Cali, New York. Every day I turn to my computer, somebody's getting shot in the Bronx, somebody's getting shot in Philly. It's in our community that has to change first before we should start saying vote for this president and it's going to be kumbaya after that. So I want to know what's your take on that.
truthfully, you're right. It starts within our communities. How many of us can name our city councilman right now?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's embarrassing, but it's the truth. Like, I could name the Bulls starting five, but I can't tell you who my councilman, and I can't use it as an excuse. I've been in this area for a year and a half now, and
Yeah.
that's a majority of people who lived in places for 20, 30 years. It's just
Yeah.
like you're saying, Ant, we look towards the bigger picture, and it's. I'm reading this book called The Compound Effect, and it tells you little steps they add up to big things, and those little steps will be our local leaders. Let's fix our community. All right, our community's fixed. Let's fix the city. All right, our city's fixed. Let's fix the state. And it turns into a nationwide thing. Which you're 100% right. If it doesn't start in our own backyard, we can't expect the president or whoever's in charge to change things around us. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
I'll give you an example. I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were talking about, did you vote? And I said, yeah. And said person told me that the candidates that they wanted to vote on weren't there. And I was like, why? How is that possible? Because they, I guess, put independent or something. They didn't pay attention, and they lost their
Oh
party.
God.
And in my head, I was like, how in the hell did you not pay attention to that? Because when they give you that packet,
Yeah.
they say, oh, he's a Democrat or he's voting Republican. So, you know what I'm saying? They put all that in front of you, and this person just wasn't paying attention. I was like, you have to pay attention. This is, if any time to pay attention, this is the time to pay attention. This
Yeah.
coming election. Don't blow the vote. And this
Seriously.
particular person, I guess, they didn't understand who the local councilmen were and the councilwoman, and they was like, I don't even understand the politics behind it or what they're standing for. I'm like, well, they do give you a pamphlet that goes and gives you a Cliff Notes version of what they for. At least do that,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't take the time out to do that, and they pretty much, I don't want to say they wasted a vote, but they voted, but I don't know what the outcome is, and it's crazy. You got to take it seriously. You get that packet in the mail, just don't put it on the kitchen counter, man.
Yeah.
Take some time out. Look it up.
Yeah, it's almost like when we see people online to buy a pair of Jordans. They outside with folding chairs and sleeping bags.
Yeah.
You know, so people make it their priority in life to go get those Jordans. You know, so if you can do that, you know, you can see, like you said, know what's going on around your surroundings, man. Know that it's real now. It's getting to the point now where people don't give a damn what you think. This is what it's gonna be whole at. And I have to break it down as simple as that because that's the only way people can understand. It's not a game out here anymore. It's really not. It's not a game anymore.
I just wish like what happened in the UK. Like I don't want it to happen here. I just like you said, and people waiting on line for Jordans. Like that's the cool thing to do. Like politics is not looked upon as cool, but they're quick to curse out. Oh my God, I can't believe this person's in the office. But yet
Yeah.
you didn't go out and vote. You know what I mean? Like it's sad. And who knows if our votes count? Like I'm gonna play devil's advocate, but at the same time, like go find out. Go grab somebody. Go grab 5 of your friends and head out and vote, man. Find out. I'm looking up who my city councilman is right now. Those are things we should know.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what's going to happen? It's going to be very easy to deceive somebody when you're not educated on what's going on. So you hear somebody says, I promise you free haircuts for the next 3 years. Automatically, that's a great president. So
Exactly.
people, you have to do your research and know what's bullshit and what's not.
People don't care until it's happening in their backyard, man. To be honest,
Yeah,
they don't.
and that has to stop. That's the
And-
only way.
And when it happens, it's gonna be too late.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's over.
You know what's
Like,
crazy too? That threw me off when I went to go vote. It was a hassle because I waited to the last minute, and I usually go to the city hall because that's where they had it last year. And they was like, "What district are you in?" I was like, "District? What do you mean district?"
District 9.
Yeah,
All right.
apparently there's 10 districts, and I was frustrated because they gave me the runaround. So I go to City Hall, and the lady was like, "You need to go to the Salvation Army," which is no big deal because I just passed the Salvation Army, and it was like 5 blocks. And so I drive back to the Salvation Army.
Oh, you couldn't vote at City Hall because that wasn't your district, is what she was telling you?
Yeah. So the crazy thing is, the crazy thing is, the City Hall to my house is like a 5-minute drive. So this whole district thing was new to me, right? And I'm like, how far am I? So I go to the Salvation Army. I walk in there. I stand in line for 15 minutes. Mind you, my voting journey started at 5:50 p.m. So I go. I get in line for 15 minutes. The lady comes up to me and she's like, asks my name. I tell her my name. And she's like, I don't see your name on the list. And I'm like, wait, well, City Hall told me to come here. They said it's my district. It was like, well, your name's not on the list based on your address. You in another area to vote, which happened to be a block away from my house. See, I didn't even know that. So, I could have missed my vote, but I went to 3 different polling booths, and then I get in line at this school called Burnett Middle School. I get in line. The lady asks me my name. I tell her, and then she looks at me. She's like, "You're in the other line over there." I was like, "This got to be. You got to be kidding me. How many lines I'm going to be switching? This is like my 3rd place I'm here." So it's frustrating. So you have to understand all the little intricacies of going to your voting booth, knowing you're in the right district, knowing your councilman. It's crazy.
You're 100% right, because somebody else would have been like, yo, I'm going home. I ain't voting.
Exactly.
I'm out of here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like the game's on. Like I'm not voting, so.
Yeah, I had to go to. I miss jujitsu. That's how important it was for me. You know, I love jujitsu, so I'm missing my little session. You know, it's serious.
Exactly. It's the future.
But yeah, man. Getting back to the original point, man. Like this BRexit, man. Them leaving the EU based on the ramifications of how they feel on immigrants entering the UK. I'm kind of surprised at the UK because when you think of the UK, you think of them. Somebody made a comment about like just because they got an accent don't mean that they smarter than us. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's like we always look at the UK is like always one step ahead. They always do the right thing. They're doing it wrong right now, and this is the one point where they are the biggest idiots right now in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not America. We used to hold that title, but for right now, I think the UK made a huge mistake, in my humble opinion. And I think as Americans living in the US, we have to take note of this, man. Like, this is huge, because the things that's going on over there is exactly what's going on over here with the immigration reform, the economic state of where we're at right now, the presidential elect, and who's trying to run for office and their viewpoints. And man, we have to wake up and pay attention.
Yeah. And one more thing I gotta get off my chest. It's funny when they want to have presidential fundraisers, they can gather up millions of dollars in days. But yeah, we have schools closing down, and we don't have no money for this, no money for that. But when it comes for something more important in their eyes, they can have fundraisers where a hot dog costs $8,000. They should have the same thing, getting these books for books for schools and whatnot. So this country, man, is backwards to me, man. It's all about that almighty dollar, man.
Well, it's funny that a country that's famous for colonizing every country is now trying to kick out immigrants. How ironic is that?
It's pretty ironic.
So I guess the moral of all of this, man, you just gotta be informed to educate yourself, because if you don't know, somebody's gonna answer it for you, man. It's gonna be too late, or you're gonna make the wrong decision because you're not educated enough. So
yeah, and a lot of comedians, John Oliver is one to speak up on it and how the parallels run similar to what's going on in the U.S. If anybody's listening to the podcast, I suggest to Google John Oliver and really listen to his political satire. That it's broken down in layman terms. So if you don't understand what CNN and BBC is regurgitating, please check out John Oliver. It's a good source of information where you can able to digest that and understand what's going on currently.
True indeed.
All right, enough of my ranting about how idiotic and asinine the UK is right now, currently.
All right.
Moving gears, Ant. What's the next topic we have?
For the next topic, we're gonna get some fun things going on. Let's get into some basketball, NBA draft, upcoming free agency coming up, where KD landing. How let's get into some basketball.
In New York.
New York, if we're gonna get him, I'm hearing some things. I personally love the Derrick Rose trade. We could definitely talk about that. But first, do y'all agree with the number 1 pick of the draft?
Yes, I totally.
Yeah,
agree.
you got to, man. Like,
he's the best player in the draft.
If he's not, if he's not the next coming of whoever they say is, I still think he's gonna be a solid player at the very least.
He gotta get a jump shot, man.
You gotta take a chance on him.
That's and him not having a jump shot is the easiest thing to learn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's the easiest part you can acquire. Is you can learn how to get a jump shot.
Tell LeBron James that statement.
He had it.
That's LeBron James. That's his confidence.
Yeah.
Like Jason Kidd is 3rd all time in 3-pointers. Like, you can acquire a jump shot eventually in your career. You just got to work at it.
Exactly. He's a prime
when
example.
Jason Kidd came out, he couldn't shoot to save his life. Yeah.
And then they said he was 3rd all time. I was like,
I think. Yeah, exactly. But I think. Who else are you gonna take over? I mean, who's the other kid's name? Ingram. Like, Ingram's also a great player.
Ingram is the better fit for certain teams, but you take the best player in the draft. Yeah.
Potential wise, Ben Simmons has a higher ceiling, is what they're saying.
Yeah, potentially.
For some reason, none of these guys jump off as the next torch bearer. I don't see it. Even in college.
In college, I saw Ben Simmons as a 20 and 10 guy translating into the NBA. I think he has that. He passed the eye test for me. Yeah, he didn't shoot the ball very well, but I think that could be fixed. He's got skill set, man. That's you can't teach that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's 6'10". He's big as a Mack truck. He's basically a spitting image of LeBron James, but I mean, obviously he has a long way to go. But you see it. Ingram, they say it could be potentially Kevin Durant, or he get at worst be Tayshaun Prince, whatever. I mean, I'm fine with either or as long as we get.
I'm tight if he Tayshaun Prince. I pick the number.
Hey man, Tayshaun Prince back in the day. You thinking it now, Tayshaun Prince, but old Tayshaun Prince. That's what Trevor Ariza. If he turns out to be Trevor Ariza, whatever, it's cool because it's a team game. Yeah, you can't get a home run with everybody, but if he hits his potential, yeah, he's KD.
Yo, not home run, but not no Tayshaun Prince. I'm tight.
That's the floor though. That's the floor, not the ceiling.
Yeah, Tayshaun Prince a champion. He made a few All-Stars. He's not a bum.
He ain't no bum, but if we talking about a top 2 pick, I can't. We're not doing that. Hell no.
I mean, hey, it's
It's
yes.
tough in NBA, man. Like it's hit or miss with some of these kids. Andrew Wiggins, they call him the next LeBron. Like he ain't no next LeBron. Now you see him in the NBA, he's gonna be who he is. I don't
Yeah.
know who I could say he's gonna be, but
He
there's
look
always
like
these
DeMar
people.
DeRozan.
This is
Yeah,
this is what
But
I
I
think the bad side about leaving school too early. These kids don't get enough time to develop their games, and it's just raw. And I wish they could just stay cut for like 3 years
Ben
and
Simmons
don't
didn't need
come
to
out.
stay in the NBA. He was ready. He's done. They paid that boy to go to LSU. He had no business at LSU. So
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, like the kids that leave early, they just don't pan out. I mean, if they're not up to the talent or they can't play with that level, they're not gonna be in the league.
yeah,
Like I agree. Like some of these kids, they should stay longer in college, but sometimes you got a freshman coming in. Your coach is like, "Yo, all jokes aside, he's ranked #1 in the country. You about to ride the bench. What you gonna do? You gotta take your chances in the NBA."
yeah, exactly. Yeah, somebody out of this draft is gonna shock. I mean, I don't think it's a bad draft. There is from a talent standpoint, based on what I know and saw in college. Yeah, after the second pick, you don't know what's gonna happen. Anybody,
I
that
like
guy.
Chris Dunn a lot, man.
A lot of
Minnesota
people,
pick,
yeah, a lot of people
yeah,
like Chris Dunn. A
and,
lot of
and I
people
like
like
who the Bulls take too. I like Valentine. I think he's gonna be a good player too if his knees holds up. Denzel
yeah,
Valentine.
Denzel Valentine. You either got Jimmy Butler, the new Jimmy Butler, or you got Tony Snell. So one or the other.
Tony Snow,
Speaking
what a bum.
speaking
Yeah.
of Chicago, man, D, how do you feel about Rose leaving your team?
Uh, I wish we got a little bit more for him, but I feel that marriage was over. It was just it was we there was too much pressure on him. The falling out it was just weird, man. Like
He's a broken man.
yeah, like I think him being in a new city, I'm not gonna go all Stephen A. Smith and say this doesn't matter. The Knicks are gonna be a 7th or 8th seed. I think this helps him out immensely. If Rose could be healthy, like and he's passing to Carmelo Anthony, he's never played with a Carmelo before. Like
Yeah.
I think the Knicks, I think they just moved to like at least top 5 in the East if
If
everyone's healthy and playing well.
I'm gonna say this, if Rose is 80% of Rose, he's better than any point guard y'all had on the Knicks,
Yeah,
and
Amen.
in over a decade.
over a decade, and since Allen Houston, that's the best guard you guys had, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
Uh,
agree.
Also, I think Melo needs a point guard that can tell him what to do, who's also can kind of be alpha doggish with the skill set. With Chris Stapps, and I think you guys might get another free agent. If you guys get another interesting key free agent, y'all definitely a playoff team now. I
Yeah,
can say that now.
I agree. If y'all get Dwight Howard, though, I
Relatively,
might have to take that back.
if y'all relatively healthy, you know what I'm saying? Like if Rose is healthy, you're definitely a playoff team.
I'm rooting for Rose, man. As a Bulls fan, I
We all
feel
rooting for
I want
Rose.
I want him to do well, man. Like
Yeah,
if my
He
team does
played.
bad, I don't even care this year. I'm like whatever.
Yeah, he played relatively well last year. I watched him. He wasn't the MVP Rose, but he wasn't as bad as people made him out to be. Uh, Now you got in Chicago Jimmy Butler, Nikola Mirotic, Bobby Crazy Eyes Portis, and I think
AKA Kurt Thomas.
yeah, and you guys are trying to trade Taj Gibson. I heard, and probably Joakim Noah is probably gonna be released. So yeah, it's a rebuilding mode for the Bulls, man. Y'all had y'all run.
We
Um,
did. I mean, we
yeah, just
tried. We just
injuries,
couldn't beat
man.
LeBron, man. That's
yeah,
all it comes down to. We couldn't get past LeBron,
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
unfortunately.
Unfortunately, injuries robbed you guys of some prime years.
yes,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
but as far as the Knicks, man, I think that was a really good look. I mean, it's too early to tell because if Rose is unhealthy, then it's a mute point.
But yeah,
But
but it's only a 1 year kind of project, you know. It's not like
yeah,
they took him and he had 3 years left.
no,
It's just like, yeah,
exactly.
you don't do anything this year, you out of here.
The one thing I was concerned was Jarian Grant. I felt like he should have been a Knick, but
I didn't
that's
care about him.
that's just the gamble. Well, the coaching staff, man, didn't really care about him either. They didn't really give him no time. They kept giving that bum Jose Calderon all the minutes. So I never understood that.
Don't get me started with him. As long as we get Noah in this, a big man, if we get Noah with this, I'm fine. And I think that's the only way we might have a shot at getting Kevin Durant if we get another
Y'all
big
not
man.
getting Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant. This is what
He already
Kevin
said
Durant
he's
is
not
doing.
gonna go visit y'all. So
No, this he said he wasn't gonna visit us, but he did. Now he's back on the map.
no, he said he's not visiting the Knicks.
No, but I'm saying
Nah,
anything
he
can
said,
change. He's not
from
visiting.
what I read, he's gonna go back with his team and he's gonna discuss, the
This is
possibility of going to the next meeting.
this is what I think Kevin Durant is doing. He's just all these teams are just jockeying for position for 2017.
Yeah, he's not leaving. He's gonna stay
leaving.
one more year with that team, and then I think he'll make his decision. Him and
Yeah,
Russell gonna give it one more year.
Exactly.
Yo,
'cause they-
losing Ibaka to me wasn't that good, man. It wasn't a good look for me.
Why not? What does Ibaka do anymore?
Because
checked
he's
out.
he's a big man. He can play defense. In the West, you need to play
He
defense.
don't play like he used to. Steven Adams is better than him now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
This dude's be shooting threes. I'm like, yo, Ibaka, get in the hole. He was
What?
blocking 3.7 blocks. He had 3.7 blocks 2 years ago. Last year it was like 1.5.
Yeah, what Baca's bread and butter he's not relying on anymore. And then they picked up the son of the legend, Sabonis. So
Yeah.
I keep hearing good things about this kid, so I think they'll be all
I seen
right.
him in college. Sabonis, he plays a little bit like his dad. He's not athletic, but he's got a high basketball IQ, and that's what you need.
Yeah. So now that OKC has a big three with Oladipo trade, that's huge. In my
He's
opinion.
not battle tested yet, though. For the West to win that championship, at least Ibaka
He don't
was
gotta
battle
be.
tested. He
He
has
don't
to
gotta
be, because
No,
now
he
they're
doesn't.
dependent on him now.
This is the
Ibaka
best.
wasn't
This is
doing
the best. This is the best third option they had since
Yeah.
Harden.
Ibaka wasn't in the game during clutch moments.
Yeah. Oladipo can. He's good.
Yeah, he's
Nah,
got
he's
game
good,
winning.
but let's hope he can handle the spotlight and the pressure of the West.
you,
This is not the
I'm
East.
telling you, man,
This ain't the East.
Oladipo's a 20-point scorer, man. He can do that.
Easily.
I like his game again, but we're in the West now.
And he don't have to average 20. He's playing with Russell and Durant. He just got to play his part. That's it.
And I'm
Make
gonna tell you
shots.
this, man. Yeah, you can say the East is weak, but take Golden State and San Antonio out, the East was murdering the West teams, dude. I'm telling you that right now. So to say the East weak, they killed. And
For
then
a 7-game series, I think there is no competition.
And you look at who the Warriors played last year, Portland Clippers, and who the Cavs played. The Cavs beat a better quality opponent based on the record alone. So that whole point of saying the East is weak. Well, yeah, when it's considered against Golden State and San Antonio, of course. But everybody else,
OKC too. I don't think
Yeah,
Toronto
OKC.
will be OKC.
yeah, and OKC, but everybody else got bodied by the East. So, it's evident now. You can't really say the East is weak because the East won it. So
Let me ask this. Speaking about the finals, do you guys feel sorry? Oh, no, not feel sorry, but do you think the Cavs won it or did Golden State lose it?
Golden State
Cavs won it. I think Cavs won
I
it.
think Golden State lost it.
They lost it.
Up 3-1, I think they lost it, man.
Look, they shouldn't have been there. That's how I really feel.
Yeah.
It should have been OKC. That's how I really
That's true
feel.
too. OKC lost it. If you go back
Yeah.
a series before, I think
Kevin Durant lost it Game 6. I'm blaming him.
you got to.
Yeah.
He gets no
Got to.
blame, unfortunately.
Man, is he a glorified Carmelo Anthony? That's
Bro,
what I think.
not Carmelo all the time, man. Durant just as bad.
Durant makes the playoffs though, man.
Yeah,
But
but
his team
Durant-
needs to win
do
championships,
we
though.
put
Durant-
Durant in the echelon like LeBron?
He's a tier below them. He is a superstar.
So
Like
he's
if Melo
he's
if Melo's
in
not making the
between.
playoffs, yeah, he's tier 2. Melo can't make the playoffs by himself. Like we saw what happened when Durant wasn't on OKC. They didn't even make the playoffs. So
Yeah.
don't get it twisted. Russell Westbrook is
They
nice.
barely didn't make the playoffs because Russell Westbrook went in the
What's-
T1000 mode.
Yeah, he did. That's true. But at the same time, Durant is better than Carmelo.
hmm
Carmelo stay getting bumped in the first round if he does make the playoffs.
hmm Yeah. So
But yeah,
look,
I think Golden State lost those finals. Like
I mean, look, it's
you live by the
Golden
3,
State.
die by the 3.
More Golden State lost that finals than Cavs take because Cavs did take something from after
They
that
did.
suspension.
They had their heart.
They had their heart. LeBron play out of his world, and anybody who says you look, I'm gonna say this right now that the only thing I hated about LeBron, there's 2 things: his floppiness and whininess after the call,
Me too.
and his whole shenanigans of how he left. I'm not blaming him for not leaving. He needed to leave Cleveland, but the
do
way
it like a man.
Yeah, that spectacle was nuts. Outside of that, I am a huge fan of LeBron. I root for him, except when he plays my Lakers. I think he lived up to the hype, and I think he can't do no wrong because they splitting hairs. They talking about Kyrie should have got the MVP. Heck no.
That's bullshit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Yeah.
Heck no. LeBron was in the conversation last year to win the MVP, and he had
on the losing team.
On a losing team. LeBron just reminded the world who the real MVP was, and he wasn't throwing salt because he went out and proved it.
Yeah.
When he said, "Yeah, it depends how you look at it." When Curry got the MVP, that he deserved it, but I mean, are you talking the most valuable player in the season or for your team? I'm the most valuable player for my team and your team because he outshined them all.
You know what got me really upset? Watching Golden State, like, yeah, what they do is beautiful basketball, but when they're off, when Curry's throwing behind the back passes out of bounds, it's frustrating. Yeah, I'm just looking at them like.
So the question is, what can Curry do when his shot? What can Curry do when his shot not clicking?
Yo, I don't know. Ask ESPN. He's already in the top 20 greatest of all time. So.
Yep. And I will say this. Yep. My fault. You continue.
No, that's it. No, I want to know. Yeah, like they already put him in the top 20. He's above Isaiah Thomas, which is crazy to me. But go ahead, Ant.
My answer was, I think everybody's answer was already solved because one, you put physical contact on Curry, he's not the same.
Make him play defense, he ain't the same.
So the notion that he can play in the 90s with a hand check, hell no.
He'll be dead.
Because Kyrie was breakdancing on this dude. Can you imagine what a guard could do if I can put my hands on you? I'm going to knock that screen away, and we're going to play that grown defense. I don't see Curry lasting. It was the proof's in the pudding watching this series right here.
I mean, Mark Price lasted. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf lasted. These are shooters.
Those are regular good NBA players. We're talking about an MVP. Will he still be an MVP caliber player in the 90s with the physicality that took place? I don't think so.
Court, hey, look, you shoot from half court, you can transcend any area.
Remember, Mark Price's career got cut short too. He should have been playing a little bit longer.
Oh yeah. So I mean,
Golden State Warrior too. I know he played with them.
I mean,
yeah.
He shoots from half court, and like that's unreal. But I'm just saying, when his shot not hitting, he like I said to me, look, this is just my opinion.
But you gotta get what you're saying. If your shot's not hitting, you gotta go into Isaiah Thomas mode. Like, yo, I'm going to the hole. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
now this is why I said
his game is off of screens. If you think about it.
But this is why. Well, see, but the thing is, Curry can break dance on you too. So
yo, it's not Kevin Love had him on lock.
This is where I'm coming. This is my. This is what I'm saying. Now I'm not saying Curry was hurt that he couldn't play, but I just said he wasn't right.
He wasn't the same. I get it.
He wasn't the same.
He gets the most excuses.
No. But I'm look, man. You have an MCL sprain, man. You ain't bouncing up like you used to, man. It's gonna take.
I agree, but you better go past Kevin Love.
So then why Carmelo a bum when he just had knee surgery? Why
stop bringing up the Knicks, man?
No, because it's a double standard when it comes to certain other players. I don't want to hear that he's just a bum.
Hey, Carmelo won a ring.
Yeah, word.
So the ring validates bullshit because that's what it is.
It gives you some leeway, though.
It does give you some leeway.
It gives you some leeway, Ant. You know that. Stop it, Ant. You know that. Give you some leeway. You get
so then why we kill LeBron then? He got 2 rings already.
He got 3 now.
He got 3 now.
But we still killing him way before
not
the
no
3rd
more.
ring.
Not me. You won't hear it from my mouth. He has a lifetime.
You were killing him last year, and me and Cam was like, "Are you crazy? Are you seeing what he's doing in the finals?" And you were like, "Oh, he needs to do more." He was like, "Yo, this dude's averaging 40, 11, and 8. What else do you need the man to do?"
The reason I kill LeBron is because I know this is what. Did you see the performance?
You know he could do better.
Yeah, exactly. This is why we kill him because
Game 4, we was like, "Yo, what is wrong with this kid?"
Yeah, Game 5 and 6, 7. This is what we expect from LeBron. This is the real LeBron James right here.
But Cam, people was literally saying Steph Curry is top 2, maybe even better than LeBron. So we're gonna give him. We're gonna give him that title. Yo, honestly, he did nothing in the finals to warrant that at all. He didn't dominate no games. When I mean dominate, like LeBron last year when he dominated. Like, you're like, yo, this dude.
Well,
is
that's
the
why he
best.
doesn't have the Larry O'Brien trophy. So you're right.
Curry literally did. He was just an average shooting guard running around screens, hoping to make a 3-pointer. That's it. You didn't make nobody better. You don't pass the ball. And how you don't get the ball up to Draymond Green when he had like almost 30 in one half? How you don't feed him the basketball? So a lot of analysts who brought that up had a good point. If you're supposed to be that dude, be that dude. Because to me,
those analysts are also
average.
dick riders. Those analysts are dick riders too, because all season they was licking and loving on Curry.
Yeah.
And now they throwing him under the bus. So I don't want to hear all those analysts just saying, "Oh, what's going on with him?" Like, no, this whole season y'all were damn well photographing his pre-game jump shots and his dribbles.
Yeah,
I'm like, come on, man, stop riding the kid. He does bad, but you can't be flip-flopping.
I said this earlier. I said Curry in the finals I think he had 2 good games in the last 2 years. 2 good games. He pretty much did.
He's been average.
He's been average, man. 17 points from MVP is not an MVP.
Think about it. That's why he didn't get MVP last year, and he wasn't going to get MVP this year. It would have been Draymond Green.
And that's saying a lot, man. So maybe people need to slow
down.
Okay,
let's slow down though. And in the season, Curry was on that like blood magic tip.
Yeah, bro. I was watching games like, what is? I thought he sold his soul.
Yeah.
That OKC shot, I was like, what am I watching?
He had a great season, but when it got real and it was a 7-game series and people can game plan around you, you wasn't the same like you was in the regular season. And that's from OKC. That's from Cleveland Cavaliers. So that's like what? How many games they played? 14 games?
Well,
you didn't take over anything pretty much.
Check it out. Curry's performance put more Golden State Warrior fans in check more so than the people that weren't Golden State Warrior fans. Now, I understood Curry's greatness. He's a great player. A great player. In the season, he was unreal. In the playoffs, last year, he did all right, except in the finals. And in this year, he was hurt, and he didn't really show up until a couple games in the OKC series to put a cherry on top. And I think he had 1 or 2 good games. I think he had a 30-point game in Game 3 or Game 4.
Cam, at the end of the day, no one's going to talk about him being hurt in this series.
When
we look back at the stat sheet.
No, because he played.
I get what I get what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying, but no matter what, you got to perform. Like, no one looks and says he had a bad knee. At least 20 years from now, we're going to know because we were able to watch it. But honestly, watching him, I feel like they tried to crown this guy. They had him, ranked 23rd all-time greatest players ever, above Elgin Baylor and Scottie Pippen. It's moments like these where you're like, all right, well, did we give him the – did we crown him too early? You know what I mean?
Dwayne, they had look. Curry had people talking reckless.
Yo, is he gonna surpass
people? His own teammates. Clay was like, "Yo, we could beat Chicago Bulls." I'm like, "Yo, y'all getting
they said we could beat the Showtime Lakers when it was."
Yeah, they was getting a little full of themselves, man. Like, a little. Y'all making some 3-pointers and y'all the greatest ever.
I'm not a hater of the Warriors. I'm more a hater of their fans. That's more
same here.
Yeah,
and the fans and the media. The media just got on my nerves.
But it was warranted though because they was doing some unreal stuff. It's just they went from lovable losers to like outworldly. Like I thought, I said, we thought they made a pact with Lucifer himself.
That's true. So the way they started the season, and think about it, the Bulls when they went on their tear, we didn't have NBA TV. We weren't able to watch all their games. You know what I mean? Like, those were local places where you were like, yo, I don't got Milwaukee's television channel. I can't watch it. All I can see is highlights. But in this day and age, you're right. They cover them more because there's more access to them.
Yeah. And we're going to say here on TOT, everybody, please do not compare anything associated with Michael Jordan. Whatever he put his hands on, touch, leave that alone. From him,
that man,
legacy, leave him
Keep him
alone.
Closest thing to Jordan retired this year. That's it. That's the closest you're gonna see.
And even with that, I can say he lost. Michael never lost in the finals. There's only
he never
one
went
goal.
to Game 7.
Never went to Game 7. Leave this man. He averaged 30 plus leave him alone, please.
Hey, well, you know what? Look.
Michael Jordan's an icon. Put it that way. He's not even a legend. He's an icon.
The thing about the Jordan not losing to Game 7 is because his team never went to Game 7. You know what I'm saying? If he went to Game 7. Who knows what would happen? He did lose in the conference finals, though.
But we know he never went to Game 7.
So that's even better. Yeah, so leave him alone, please, for the last time. Jordan these kids, Sports Center. I'm really shocked how they even put this on TV. Like they don't have
I
historians who
mean,
watch the game of basketball. But like, yo, what are y'all
take the
talking
final
about?
take the playoffs out of just for a second. Just think of what they did in the season. It's unreal. So it was warranted.
It
Man,
is. It is.
they don't.
But
Have you ever
but
seen a?
but
Hold on. Have you ever
for
seen
me
a
to tie
highlight of Jordan in the regular season? Come on, man. It's
Yeah.
playoffs.
for me to
all the
tie the
time.
gift, for me to tie the gift, for me to put the bow on top, they had to win that championship.
If they would have won the championship,
Hmm?
they would have been the greatest regular season and championship team.
It would have been argued because they
It
had to
would've
go
been
to
argued.
Game 7. Yeah,
Yeah,
they would
they
have
would
been
have been
argued.
argued. That would have been the only argument because
It
I
would've
don't know,
been
are you better than the 2001 Lakers? Even though they had a season record, they went 15-1 in the playoffs.
Yeah,
You beat
and
them?
Iverson had to come alive to get that one.
Yeah.
I honestly think they can beat the Lakers.
All right.
All right, let's now
Wait,
let's switch topics. Let's go to Game of
wait.
Thrones now. Let's
Wait,
go to
hold
Game
on.
of Thrones.
No, but
Wait.
I
What's
thought
Lakers?
simple.
Oh, the 2001 or the Showtime Lakers?
Yeah, which Lakers you talking about? Yeah?
I think they can beat the 2001 and the Showtime, and I'll explain
Golden
it
State?
real quick. No,
You talking about-
I'm talking about Chicago Bulls. I'm talking about.
Oh,
the
we
Bulls.
talking
Sorry,
about Golden
Bulls.
State.
Golden State.
Oh,
You talking about
no,
Golden State.
Lakers to me, I think will sweep Golden State.
All
It's
right,
not
cool,
even.
cool.
It's not even close.
All right, we can move on.
Honestly.
All right, we can move on then because we thought you were talking about Golden State.
Oh no. Sorry, fellas. Sorry. No. My fault.
Hey,
Nah,
Dwayne,
I
you
can't-
see my face right now.
Nah, fellas. So when they brought that up, I was mad they even had that on TV. I'm like, yo, the Lakers will sweep Golden State.
So let me
Kobe
give
Bryant,
it back before we move on. Let me give a backstory. I got hit up by our mutual friend Anthony just sharing about how the offensive rating and the 100 plus possession was so great that they could challenge the Showtime Lakers, the 84-85 Lakers.
Analytics.
I said, okay, Mr. Analytics. So I brought up the stat. The all-time greatest offensive rating per 100 possessions is the Showtime Lakers. You're not beating them, Mr. Stat. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you, Ant. I see what you're doing, but it's not working.
Come on the show to defend yourself one of these days.
Yeah.
And like Magic said, they averaged, I think, 114, 16 points a game at 1 year, which I didn't even know. In that era, and now they go to this Candy Cup league. Oh, forget it, man.
Yeah, it's a wrap. All right, let's move to the final topic, the Game of Thrones finale. All right, no, if you didn't watch the show, please stop listening right now because we're gonna get spoiler filled.
Forever.
Yeah. So my question, this is what I've been asking everybody all day. I asked in the chat, I'll ask again. So the Jon Snow reveal. Cam, you said that you knew, and did you know that was
No.
Lyanna Stark's son, or
No.
was it a huge reveal for you?
That was a huge reveal. I was shocked. I was speechless.
Okay.
I screamed yesterday, like,
Well,
oh,
you know what, Ant? If you'd have been tuned in to our Twitter comments and chat, you would have known we've been talking about this for days. So,
But I don't read all of that, and I caught up late, so sorry I didn't see that. But again,
no, it's good because Jay-Ton said the same thing. He was like, yo, he didn't know until he saw the show.
Yeah, I didn't know until I saw the show, and I'm glad because I don't want to be spoiled. So let it. I like the shock value. So
it wasn't a spoil.
it
was
wasn't a
more
spoiler
of a
because it wasn't even.
confirmation.
Yeah, it wasn't confirmed at all. Like this wasn't even known. This part of the story is not written. The producers in the book, the producers went to the writer and guessed the ending, and he confirmed it. And so they just went through with it. This part of the story is not yet written on the book yet. So this was the whole build up. Now, for me personally, I'm one of those dudes. If I sniff a rumor, I'm gonna look it up. And once I found out that this could be a possibility, I started looking back at it because the internet has all these tools to go back and analyze seasons past and point out the clues and subtle hints because there's a title of one of the chapters or one of the novels called The Song of Fire and Ice. Fire representing Daenerys and ice representing Jon Snow. Like I said, I mentioned earlier that the lady, what's her name? Melisandre?
Yeah, Melisandre.
Melisandre always had. She said she had visions of the chosen one, but all she kept seeing was snow. clue, message. You know what I'm saying? So when he died, none of us, without even looking on the internet, didn't believe Jon Snow was dead anyway. And we was like, how is he gonna come back? Is he gonna come back as like the dude, like Neo from the Matrix, or as a White Walker? You know, my three theories was either the Lady Missandra was gonna resurrect him, he's gonna warg into his wolf, or he gonna get burnt, and we gonna find out he really the real heir of Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark. Mm-hmm. So there were subtle hints.
See, my thing is with the show itself, at least until this season, those hints were so subtle, like you literally had to go back and rewind it. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't to the point where it was blatant. So the reveal to me for a lot of fans who don't read the books, who weren't kind of analyzing it, that was just, they were probably shocked, like, yo, I didn't see this coming.
Also, you know, when he, not to cut you off, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
Also, when Ned Stark was like, when they asked him, like, what about my mom? He's like, I'm going to tell you about your mom one day.
Next time I see you. Yeah.
And then you fast forward to like season 6, and you see Bran flashback into Ned. You like, man, wait, okay, hold on. I mean, it's not that hard.
It was so subtle though. Like we heard screams from the tower. Like granted, because we did our due diligence and we were like, oh man, is it Lyanna? Is she in the tower?
Yeah.
Is she in the Tower of Joy? But
that was known though.
Someone looking at the show would have been like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Also, there was the conversation, like the highlights, Littlefinger and Sansa Starks when she sees her Aunt Lyanna in the statue, and Littlefinger talks about, oh, what problems arose when Rhaegar chose your aunt, and Sansa was like, well, he kidnapped her and raped her. But Littlefinger says in his own little sly ass way, was like, if that's what you believe, but that's not kind of what really happened. You know, she chose him. You know what I'm saying? So, because he at the duel,
those are one of those conversations where people probably not even paying attention. But I do remember
but it's a hint though. Like, and then you start subtle hint. But if you put all of them together, you know, if you come up to this episode and you kind of pay attention, you're like, okay, and then you finally get that reveal, you're like, all right, all those hints do make sense. It's not like they were all far fetched, you know. So I agree.
Truthfully, I don't think the show did a good job of for the casual fan for giving them too many hints. I think because we knew, we had those fan theories and we were kind of questioning it. But for someone who just sat down every Sunday and watched the show, I don't think there was enough hints for them. Not saying there's anything wrong with it, but
I also believe that if you watch the show this far and you're into it, I think you are doing your due diligence as well. For the most part. Now there's a comment. You know, some people might not be into it like most of us are, because you talk to anybody that watches Game of Thrones, they're gonna break it down for you. Like, yo, I think this is gonna happen or this is gonna happen. You talk to the casual fan, they probably missed a season. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my opinion. If you're really into it, you watched every episode and you didn't let anything get by, because when Lady Missandra turned old all of a sudden, we started noticing the necklace she didn't have on the other day, and who really saw her for what she really was. You know what I'm saying? We started analyzing that. So
and then we saw the other red woman, and she had a necklace when she was talking to Tyrion and everybody else. We were like, wait a minute, how old was she?
Is she 30 or is she 300?
I have a theory on the Wizard that she's gonna play a huge part at next season. I'll get into that later though.
You could get into it now.
Oh, I honestly think she is going to convince the Walkers to team up with Jon Snow to fight off the Targaryens, to fight off the dragon.
The Walkers. Yo, what show you watching now?
For some reason, I think, because I don't know how they're going to beat that dragon. Listen, call it crazy. I'm just, for some reason, I'm looking. I said, she's going to play.
The Walkers want to kill mankind.
You're right.
Why would they team up with Jon Snow?
That was just my crazy thought yesterday. I don't know how it's going to end. I was just trying to think, how is the show going to end? And I just think I think the Walkers is not going to be what they, what it really is. That's just me. I'm probably way off, but
What they going to do when they win? Yo, thanks, Jon Snow. We'll be in the ice. Like, yo.
Again, this is Game of Thrones, man. The craziest things happen, man.
Yeah, but that's far-fetched, bro. The whole point of this is to fight the White Walkers, not to team up with them. You can't control them. The people that made them can't control them.
I don't know, man. I think the Wizard's going to play a part in that. That's why I think she's going to play a big part with Jon Snow, and I think he's going to lead it. That's just me. I think Jon Snow's going to take over and lead that as well. and fight at the end with the dragons at the final battle.
Thank God
That
you didn't
shit-
put that in the what's up chat, yo. You'd have been roasted right now, yo.
I mean, yo, it could be. Again, I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying that's what
Yeah,
I
the
crazy
build up for the
theory.
show, at least, yeah, it is a crazy theory. I'm not gonna lie, but at least what they've been showing us is they want, they're preparing for winter. Winter is here. Winter is the White Walkers, and the White Walkers from the first episode don't fuck with humans. They're just trying to consume them, and for them to team up, if anything, Jon Snow and Dany will have to team up so those dragons can come up north and kill the White Walkers. If you think about it, like everyone wants the throne, but the big story going on that people from the South don't even know is that the White Walkers, they're here.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they team up, that'll be crazy. But at the same time, I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
But who
Nah, man.
knows?
Look, man, I think in my opinion this has been the best season so far. They really got into it, and I don't know if it's based off budget cuts or how they're gonna shape it up for the next 2 seasons because I heard they shorten the episodes for
Only
each
13
season.
episodes left.
Yeah. So it's gonna probably be 6 and 6. I hope they do like some BBC stuff and make them like, I don't think they're gonna make them 90 minutes, but maybe like a little over an hour at least. Like they did this one. It was 69 minutes. That'd be awesome. Um, but I mean, overall, I'm pleasantly surprised how the pacing has gone this season. We finally get some Daenerys action because she's been kind of on the same journey the last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
They kind of got rid of her little side piece Dario.
Thank
um,
God.
I still want to know what the hell happened to Gendry. Like he's a real
Baratheon, he's got a claim for the
Baratheon.
throne, but
Still got
I
a
mean,
claim for the throne.
they got him rowing on the boat.
Yeah.
And they at least mention, if they at least mention him in a conversation, then we would have hope that he's coming back. But I think that ship,
That was it.
pun intended, has sailed.
Just like
Yeah.
Lady Stoneheart, gone.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're not gonna introduce that.
And for those who don't know, she is Catelyn Stark, who was resurrected by one of the
The Brotherhood, the bigger,
brother, the Red Priest from the Brotherhood of Without Banners.
yeah.
She was resurrected, and what the Game of Thrones has they facilitated some of the duties of other characters to other characters. We had mentioned how Walter Frey was murdered, but he was technically murdered by Lady Stoneheart in the books, where it was carried out by Arya, and Master Pycelle was killed by the younglings when it was really by Varys and his doing, but they facilitated the action to other characters in the story arc just to keep the pacing and continuity based on the television show. And so far, I mean, it's not bad. It's not a big, huge deal. I wish they would have brought Catelyn Stark back and that interesting dynamic you guys had mentioned earlier in conversation about if she did run into Jon Snow, how would her feelings be?
Yeah.
So she is a little bit different because Jon is a little bit different. The leader of the Brotherhood Without Banners that got him brought him back 7 times is a little bit different. It'd be interesting to see how Caitlyn is a little bit different because they have a conscience. Jon still has his conscience. Cold Hands, Uncle Benjen still has his conscience, but he's part walker, part human, so he can't even go past the wall in the north because it's protected by magic. So he's kind of like a in between dude. He doesn't even have like his emotions can't even be involved, and he just like, look, I'm just gonna help you out. You do what you do. Hopefully it works out, Brad. So
Yeah.
he doesn't even think like an uncle anymore. He just thinks as an intermediary character.
I think it was a good season. I don't know if it's the best yet. I still love season 1 and season 4.
So far.
Yeah.
Season 1 was off the hook.
Yeah, only for me, the only thing, like, I'm only nitpicking because of some of the time frame and the storytelling. Like, I feel like they cut a few corners with this season, and for me, it was a little bit too kind of fan theory, happy-go-lucky. Like, some of the stuff I wish, granted, they did get rid of the whole Stoneheart thing, but there's other things that are like, they did it, and I was like, fuck, man, like, I didn't get that Game of Thrones moment. You know what I mean? Like, where I was like super shocked. Granted, that church scene, I was like, Oh
That
man,
was
she just
bananas, D.
it
Hey,
was.
we had kind of discussed that last week. We was like,
Cersei's hard, yo.
I mean, and it was close to that too. When
Yeah,
Jamie talked,
we did talk about the wildfire.
yeah, she had been dropping hints that I will burn the city down for my kids, which is ironic. She was ultimately
I
the reason why her kid killed himself.
and I honestly think she knew that. When I first seen it, I said, "Yo, how you do that to a kid and his wife is there?" I think she knew he was gonna be traumatized. I think he had it
I
she,
don't
because
think she
the
knew.
way Jamie looked at her, I could tell she did that for only for her, man. It was only for her to get. I,
well,
that's
no,
what I'm
Jamie,
really.
I
Jamie,
don't.
Jamie looked at her like
Where's
what
our
the fuck?
son? Yeah,
Yeah,
like
where's
why are
our
you sitting
son?
on the throne? Like
Yeah,
he's confused. Like why are you here and not Tommen?
And I think she had this all planned, man. I think she knew
nah.
her son was gonna
And
flip.
if anything, she would have let her son go to the church. There's no way she knew her son was gonna commit suicide.
I thought
I,
it was to get back at him for him turning on
No,
her.
no,
Cause
no,
she's
no.
spiteful, man.
She does anything for her children. She's not going to kill her children. She wants to avoid the prophecy for the sake of her children. And right now, Tommen was the last one left. The only reason he wasn't at the church is because she knew she was about to blow that shit up. You know.
exactly.
And then afterwards, she was reveling in her own victory. And as a mother, one
Pouring
of the
wine on his lady's
yeah,
face instead of gonna check on her kid and let him know what's
yeah.
going on.
And so,
But
as ironic as it is, being so protective, she didn't care for the well-being and the mental state of her precious Tommen, based on how I really felt for Marjorie. You know,
Yeah.
yeah,
Tommen was being pulled by Marjorie and his mom, so he was caught in the middle.
but that's almost worse than death because she knew I'm gonna kill my son's love, and that's gonna damage him and destroy him mentally. So technically, you did kill your son.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, technically she did, but
yeah, but that
she
wasn't the
didn't want to
plan.
kill him. Yeah, that wasn't a plan at all. She was trying to outsmart everything she does. Is she's trying to
It's
outsmart
calculated.
somebody? Yeah, no, it's
She
not
thinks the short
calculated.
game. No, she thinks the short game, not the
Yeah,
long.
it's because of love. She does everything out of love, and now we really get a chance to see her as a villain because she's lost everything.
Yeah, she lost
And,
everything.
and this goes back to when we asked who's the bigger villain. To me, it's always gonna be Cersei, in
Yeah,
my
Cersei.
opinion.
I don't
Yeah.
think she was a villain until last night. Like I
I
don't
just,
think I
I
just
mean,
think she was a bad person, but for like she wasn't Ramsay, she wasn't Joffrey. Like those are people that were literally going into different places and hurting people just for the fun fact of it. I didn't see her as that evil, but after last night and like
right.
seeing her dressed up as Darth Vader, I think now I could call her a
Her.
villain. I don't
Yo,
think she was a villain before.
and she just had it, man. She's something about her, man. This bitch, excuse my French, is a fucking medieval terrorist. She
She's
just
evil, man.
she blew up half the Senate. You know what I'm saying?
While
So
she was
Literally.
drinking wine.
yeah,
Day
she's just
drinking
as
too. She was day
just
drinking.
as a sadist as Ramsey by leaving the nun for a zombified rape. Oh man, come on, bro. Like she evil.
Yo,
Yeah.
she's evil now, but if Ramsey came in your house right now, Cam, you would think you were dead. She came in, you like, yo, my wine's over there in the corner. If Joffrey came into your crib right now, you'll think you're dead. You're like, this guy's gonna kill me. Like, I don't think she was
But
on that
Joffrey
level.
was a little punk though.
He was
But
a punk, but
Cersei's a slow death. Slow death for her. She'll get you slow.
but
But
think about
we can all agree now.
yeah,
She tops. Like
yeah. I mean, yeah, everyone else is gone. She's by far the top villain on the
and
show.
she like a pit bull off with no chain. She ain't got no kids to worry about.
Yeah. The only thing she has to worry about is the other part of the prophecy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
watching it is just she's always
Wait, what
been
was
a
the other
bad
part of the
person.
prophecy? I forgot that.
She's gonna die by the hands of her brother, her younger
Okay.
brother.
Yeah, that's Jamie.
It could be Jamie. It could be Tyron.
That's Jamie, bro.
I think Jamie, on the fact that he lost his son, I think they already are divided already.
Yeah.
I think that's the beef right there. That's the common
That look
denominator.
at the end of the last episode of this season told me Jamie is like, okay, you've lost me now.
Yeah. Yeah, you lost me now. I'm done. I'm done with this shit.
Yeah. He was already pissed that he was doing everything for her and their kids, and now he comes back and that's gone. What really broke him was the loss of his daughter. And
Yeah, because he was
Yeah.
embracing being a
Yeah.
dad.
yeah,
Yep.
she knew all along, like that hit her uncle was her dad, you know. She was like, you ain't gotta hide it. I've been knowing that since day one. You know what I'm saying?
And another thing too, I don't trust Tyron because a Lannister is a Lannister, and I think they live by their name regardless of what they go through. So I still think that there's gonna be some twisting and plotting going on for them to probably be on top of the food chain.
Yeah, but
Lannisters-
what has he done in the past 6 seasons to make you not trust him?
Only because he's so keen and smart and he waits for the last minute to execute.
Nah, this is what
I just think that family name is embedded in them so much.
Yo,
that
he killed his dad. Like I haven't seen anything from him to say he's a true evil Lannister. If anything, he's misunderstood.
But now he's the heir of her now. So he's always in the middle of everything. Where he can make a final decision, do this, do that, and she's gonna do it.
nah,
Yeah, but
To me, technically he's like the leader because he's the mouth.
no.
And
Danny will
Danny
override.
does what she wants. He's just there for counsel. She's like, yo, all right, I'll listen to you because you have experience being political.
That's my point. But that's huge.
But
That's
why
huge.
would you think he's gonna try to take over? Is what you're saying? Or he's gonna do something to Danny?
I think he's gonna do something. Whereas, that Lannister name, I think that's
he
gonna
never
come
was
up
in
again.
line.
He's in love with her. Did you see the look he gave her?
I don't think he's in love with her. I don't know if he's in love with her.
And rewatch the episode when they were talking. And he sits down and he was like, "Oh, you had to tell him that it's over." And he was like, "Yo,
Yeah.
well, trust me, someone will fall in love with you again." And the way he stared at her, they're implying that he has feelings for her.
I thought he was just trying to imply that you're a beautiful woman, and it ain't hard for you to find a man who's gonna love you.
So why would he look at her for 10 seconds after she moves away?
Cause she know her dragon could keep. Cause she's the queen. She's royalty. She's the emperor. You gotta pay that respect.
So you think
Half of me agrees with Ant, half of me agrees with Dwayne. She will fall in love again. I don't know if he's that dude that's gonna fall in love because I think after his little mishap with his little prostitute mistress, that he's like really hesitant to love again. And he's not really a Lannister anymore because he never
he's always
belonged
been treated
anywhere.
as an outcast
Outcast. So
from day one? He killed his dad. His dad was big on family name, the biggest dude ever. He's like, what? Even when you leave, your family name will still be here. I don't see him. He hasn't done anything to me
Okay. So let me
that
ask
has
you this
warrant
then.
he'll do something like that.
Let me ask you this then. They
Yeah.
go over there and take over, and they're on a bridge of killing his sister and brother. You think he's gonna sit there and let that happen?
he'll
Let
mind
his sister die.
Yeah, but not Jamie.
He
And
won't let
Jamie's not
Jamie
all
die.
that evil either. Jamie
Mhm.
Jamie is a facade of being evil. He's only evil when he has to be. But if he was really evil, he would have caught Brienne on the bridge.
So on the strength for Jamie, he won't say, you know what, I'm having second thoughts about this.
No, he'll just tell her like, spare my brother. That's what he'll say.
But suppose she says no, there's gonna come a time where this is gonna happen. It's gonna be somebody's gonna die and somebody gotta choose, am I gonna let this happen?
Tywin or
And if that happens, that's a split moment decision. That's not like you're saying. It sounds like he's planning something against her. If he says, "Yo, don't kill my brother," and she's like, "I'm doing it," that's when you take out your dagger. He's not going around saying, "I'm about to poison this girl in 3 weeks." Like he's not. I don't think he's plotting anything. He's just going with her. He's showing up to be like, "Yo, we're ruling. We're taking over. It's over for you guys."
Hey, this ain't new territory for him either. He was already the hand of the king before.
Yeah, but he was disrespected though.
Yeah, he
did a great job.
Yeah.
So and Varys noted that. He said, if it weren't for you, King's Landing would have been under Stannis Baratheon. So,
Yeah.
He saved it too. Yeah, he's been amazing. I don't see him as a character that will switch. If they do that, that would be amazing. Because that would be something no one saw coming but you, Ant. I put it that way.
I don't know. I mean, I think this is the season where we finally start to see some comeuppance for the Starks, man. They've been getting done dirty for 5 seasons.
Yes, they have.
And
Well,
we finally
they didn't know how to play the game, and now they do.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to play
Arya, Sansa, the god Jon Snow, and even Uncle Benji.
Bran Stark too. Don't forget about
Bran.
Don't forget
Word
Bran.
up.
Bran might be the most powerful character in the lightweight.
He is the most powerful.
Yeah,
let a dragon come up north. Bran's
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm taking over this dragon real quick.
He'll go back and pass and make them eggs into scrambled dragon eggs, dude.
Word.
He's like, oh, you think he about to be birthed?
You know what? I think that's probably what's gonna happen. Because how do you kill these dragons? He's gonna have to go back in time, take them eggs, and destroy them.
I'm still trying to figure out how.
But the dragons aren't coming up north.
Yeah.
They're going south to Westeros and King's Landing.
Yeah. So what
Be
gets
good.
me is how did Tyrion get in with those other two dragons and why they didn't eat him? I'm like curious to that.
I don't know.
That was a really interesting point.
Again, that dude is.
Well, he said
persuasion.
he did say dragons are smart, and they probably looked at him like he wasn't gonna harm them. So they're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like they're.
At first I was like, if he didn't look like is he the fucking Khloe Kardashian of the Targaryens and he really or of the Lannisters and he really Targaryen? You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
All the dragons had jokes. They probably call him a little midget. Like I ain't killing this little midget. They probably snapping on him.
What I don't
Even
get
the dragons is playing you.
in the last episode, the freaking Dothraki were chilling on that boat. I'm like, yo, shouldn't they have boat sickness? They damn well rowing and throwing water off the boat. I was like, that's boot.
Yeah, because I remember the Dothraki
They're scared of water.
Yeah, they scared of water.
It's poison water. They're scared of it. It's evil. They were just chilling.
Yo,
right. When they hit Westeros,
I guess they hype. It's over.
When they hit Westeros, that war gonna be crazy.
Truthfully, it's over. What army does she have? Because now the Tyrells are marching against you. You got Dorne coming. You have no one, and God forbid you use all your wildfire. Yeah. Hopefully there's some left because that's the only thing that can protect you. The mountain, it's over for him. He can only take out so many people.
Yep. Wait, so who does King's? I mean, who does Cersei have? She's got the Lannisters. Who else?
The Lannisters is Jaime. That's it.
That's it. She got mad enemies.
The Frey army, right? Unless they got taken over.
Freys are gone.
Well, the king is gone.
Arya killed the king, and she put the two sons in the pie.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's cold.
Yeah.
Freys are done.
Oh, and they're gonna turn on the Lannisters for that. Why they gonna think that they're behind that?
Yeah. No, there's no Freys. She killed their bloodline. Like she's gonna go downstairs and probably free Edmure, and they're gonna take back over that section too. Well,
Edmure's already free, but
no, he's not. He's back in the dungeon.
Oh, that's right.
Walter Frey was like, he's back downstairs. I was like, that's messed up.
Yeah. Damn, he only had one night of consummation, and that was it.
See, that's another plot hole. Like, Jamie was like, I'm going to throw your kid. I'm going to catapult him against the castle. Yo, this dude was like, yo, I literally slept with my wife for one night. So, like, what attachment do you have to her or that child? I'd be like, so what? I'm assuming maybe he's thinking, like, that's the only kid I have. Like, you haven't seen the kid, so why would you believe it?
Yeah.
Yo, and I also think Grandma Tyrell, I think she's going to go ham next season. Her vengeance is...
Oh, it's over. She's pissed.
Her whole legacy is destroyed. Like, everybody...
Yeah, it was one thing to lose the nephew, but when she lost her, or the grand, or what is, I don't know, what was the...
the whole lineage.
No, but when she lost her granddaughter, that threw her over the edge. She was that was
her son. It was more Loras because he's the only one that could continue the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she wasn't really up in arms about Lawrence. She was more up in arms against Marjorie. She was like, "Child, you need to come home." She was up in arms, and then Marjorie slipped that little note, and she calmed herself. You know, I mean, a lot of people got their coming, but that nun needed to go too. She pissed me off. I mean, it's sad. She got a cold way to go out, though. I don't know what the hell that monster's doing to her. But
that's what I said. What is he doing in there? Did he kill her?
No, I think he's gonna rape her. I mean, that's what he did to the Viper's sister, so I'm assuming he's gonna continue his tradition.
Is he conscious?
I don't know, man. He probably took one of her arms. He's so offbeat and off balance.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I was spreading your legs.
He looks more intimidating with the helmet on than when he took it off. He looked like a damn demon with that helmet on.
Yeah. I'm still kind of pissed they switched the actor. I mean, I get it, but he doesn't look anything like the Hound anymore. The guy who they had in season 1, the Mountain, the original one, looked more like the Hound.
Even the second one was alright, but they had 2 of them. I mean, they switched Dario once. They switched the Mountain 3 times.
I like the original Dario, homeboy from Deadpool.
Yeah.
Dope.
Also, the Tommen was
Oh yeah, he was one of the Lannisters that got killed in the beginning.
yeah, he was the cousin or something.
Yeah, the cousin Lannisters.
Yeah, and then he came back as king. What a role! It's crazy.
Come up.
Come up. That's one of my few gripes with Game of Thrones. They be switching actors too frequently.
Oh, and the Grand Master, he got finished, man. I felt bad for him.
Hey, was it me or did anybody thought he was gonna Yoda his way out of there and just start?
I did.
That's what I said. Yo, I thought he was gonna start. All I heard was the first punch. I'm like, yo, I knew he knew karate.
Yeah.
he just started getting stabbed up.
Yo,
yeah, he took one or two of them out with a hit, like bop bop. Gave him a 2-piece, and I was like, oh, he about to use some pain.
He was faking the funk. Like, he slept with one of those prostitutes just like 2 seasons ago. He started doing stretches. Yeah, I was like, yo, this dude is an actor. He know what he's doing.
Like you said, Yoda. That's Yoda, man.
There was a deleted scene. I don't know if it was season 2 or season 3, where he had a conversation with Tywin Lannister, and Lannister was like, man, you can cut the bullshit. I know what's up. Like, you know what I'm saying? He knew.
Yeah.
He was
like
you don't have to,
like that.
Yeah, you don't have to prove your loyalty to me, man. I already know, man. You full of shit, but you more valuable. Basically, he's like, you saying you more valuable to me alive than dead. If I wanted you dead, I'd have killed you already. Because Grandmaster Pycelle was trying to say, oh, you need me, and Tywin was like, man, cut that shit out, man. I already know what's up, man. It's good.
Yo, another gripe with the entire season was Dorne. Like, why introduce Dorne and you're not using them?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was like, what's the point? They killed the prince the first episode. I'm like, really? They killed the black soldier, whatever his name was, Ariel Hoff or whatever his name was. I'm like, what's the point, man?
Yeah.
Why show it in the intro? Don't show me.
I think they might be more key next season.
They will, I guess.
Maybe that's why. I guess it's for next season. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, they did get rid of a lot of storylines on Sunday, so I guess now, I think next year, more White Walker base and more the march on kind of King's Landing, and that's pretty much it. They got 13 episodes left.
Yeah.
They better make it good.
Well, so what are we gonna watch next? You said there was another show you were talking about.
Power.
Oh, the night of.
The night of. Is that good?
There's a special sneak peek right now. If anyone has HBO Go, the first episode. Granted, I love every show from New York because that's where I'm from, but it's just like watching. It's the premise of the show is this kid goes out, borrows his dad's taxi, and he ends up like going to a party. He picks up a girl, and granted he's not picking up passengers, but she got him. He was like, hey, like, it's my dad's taxi. I can't take anyone anywhere. But she was beautiful, so he's like, yo, where you going? He ends up driving her around. They're chilling. They end up doing drugs, and he ends up waking. She's weird, first of all. When you watch it, she's one of them crazy girls that you look at them, you're like, yo, I can only chill with you one day out of the month. She's just like one of those out there people. Like, she was playing with knives. She's doing drugs and shit. So they end up having sex, and he wakes up like at the dinner table, and like he wakes up. He's like, yo, I'm about to go home. I gotta take my dad's taxi back. He walks into the room. She's filled up with knife holes. So he's like, what the fuck? So he runs out, runs to his taxi, forgets the keys inside. He goes back inside, breaks the window. Neighbor's looking now. He grabs the key. Long story short, it's a miniseries. So the crazy thing how they did it, we don't see if he killed her or not. So now it's like, did he do it or did he not do it? It just off the first pilot, I'm already hooked. It officially comes out July 10th. That's when the first episode is going to be out. But if you have HBO Go, if you have things like Kodi or whatever, you could get like a sneak peek of it. It's good. It's filmed well. It's acted incredibly. They have Michael Williams is on it. What's his name? Michael K. Williams from The Wire.
Yeah. Chalky White.
Yeah, they got this dude from Oz and The Wire. Who's the light skinned kid? I forgot his name. Damn.
Brody?
Yeah, Rhodey's on it.
Brody.
They got a few other characters, man, but it's gonna be a good one. I would check it out. HBO, they know what they're doing, man. That Power's gonna come back July 17th or sometime in July. That's another great show.
Yeah, July 17th. Yes.
Wait, okay, so
Yeah, Brody's his name. J.D. Williams.
damn, I forgot my thought. But is that what we're watching after Game of Thrones? I mean, because I'm starting to plan what am I gonna watch next. Is Empire still a thing? Like,
I don't watch it.
Empire-
Ant does.
I watch it. Empire is good, but I would see Power first. Power is really good. It's really
Okay.
good.
Because I gotta finish the season of Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, I'm up to episode 4 of this season.
Yeah, I haven't even started this last season, so I'm gonna check that out.
Son, make sure you have closed captioning on, and make sure you go watch a little rewind, because I was like, what am I watching again? Because I got a bit confused.
Yeah.
But Peaky Blinders, I just got into the Americans. I'm up to season 2 now.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
You want to be crossing swords with the Peaky Blinders, Mr. Thomas Shelby.
Well, take your fucking eyes out.
Yeah. Straight up.
But yeah, The Night Of is a new show that I recommend. Oh, straight off the pilot though. I never watched Vinyl. I know it got canceled.
I'm probably gonna watch it because I watched Rome and it was only canceled after 2 seasons.
Yeah, who knows? Any shows you recommend for the listeners?
Again, Power. I'm looking forward to that. I'm trying to see how they're gonna kill my man Ghost. So that's the only show that I really want to watch, and that's it. I want to watch Ray Donovan. I think I'm gonna go see that from season 1 and catch up. But that's about it. Ray Donovan, Power, and that's it. That's all for me for the summer until football comes back on.
Speaking of shows, you guys catch the BET Awards?
Nope.
Me
I
neither,
did.
but I caught highlights and
I didn't watch it because Cam.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to the viewers not knowing, we have an inside source to the BET Awards. Who's not with us right now. But highlights from what I heard were the Prince tributes. They did a good job. They actually backed up what they were talking about, and Jesse Williams' speech.
Bilal killed it, bro. Yeah, Jesse Williams, Anderson Paak, he did a good job too.
Yeah. So, if you guys get a chance,
man. It was a solid show.
To the listeners out there, if you get a chance, just check out Jesse Williams' speech. Very
Follow
profound.
him on Twitter.
Yes, I'm a huge fan. We gotta support him now because I don't know how many roles he's gonna get now after that speech. So we gotta stand by him right now.
I'm gonna play that tonight.
I'm happy BT put the camera on his parents, man. I know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like sometimes they be acting weird because if someone's a different race. So I'm happy they showcase like he has a white mom and a black dad. Because I remember the year before, I think Terrence Howard won. He was like, "Oh, I want to thank my wife." BT was like, "We ain't putting on no Asian woman." Like they didn't even put the camera on her.
Yeah. Well, you know what's crazy? It was taken. All them videos was taken off YouTube because of copyright infringement, which is weird. But you couldn't.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't on YouTube.
Also, my man Samuel Jackson got a lot of wood. Like I said, my man is an underrated actor. He does everything. His range is incredible. So.
Wait, what did he get?
Lifetime achievement.
I mean, but do we really look at the BET Awards? It's like,
hell no. But I'm just saying, at least you recognize for something, right?
I mean, we know, but like, I don't know, man. We need an unbiased award show because I can't depend on the Oscars no more. I can't stand them.
Yeah, I think Samuel Jackson might be the only actor that everyone in the world has seen a movie with him in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's Wesley Snipes, man. Don't say that, man.
Shut up, man. I'll ask my girl right now.
Everybody's seen a Wesley Snipes movie. Everybody.
If you're 30 and under, you haven't.
Everybody's seen Wesley Snipes.
If you're 30 and under, you haven't.
Nope.
Yeah.
30 and under, you haven't seen a movie with Wesley Snipes.
But I bet you those 30 and under seen Django and Uncle Rufus.
Exactly. or they watch freaking the first Star Wars 1 and 2.
Yeah.
That's true,
So,
yeah.
Makes sense, though.
The worst.
No,
Jesus,
tell Marcus Samuel Jackson. Samuel Jackson?
Everybody, this is my son, El Marquis Tan.
What's up, Marcus Lannister?
Yeah, he got the head, little midget, big head.
First of his name?
Yeah.
Yep. No neck.
No neck. Lord No Neck.
Yeah.
Lord No Neck.
King of the pacifiers.
All right, well, on that note, it's been good. We back. You know, we took a little delay. You know, things happen. Time goes by. But, you know, we back. And hopefully next week we'll be on this again, or we take another 2 weeks off, fellas.
Nah, hopefully we can get a full squad next week, man.
I say if we don't do next week, then it's the following week with a full squad.
Yeah,
but we will touch back on Lord of the Game of Thrones will be touched on again when we have
You almost said Lord of the Rings. Shame.
Almost said it, I know.
Shame.
I was close. I had to catch myself. Like, Lord of the Rings, Jesus.
Shame.
Lord of the Thrones.
Yeah. Shame.
So this is the TOT shining. Oh, hold on. Any last words? I forgot we got to do last words.
Nah, I'm good. I think the night of was the last word for me.
You know what? I'm gonna say this, man. You know, the draft was successful, mission accomplished. I'm glad my Lakers are starting to rebuilding. Yeah, like no, I'm serious, rebuilding, a legit rebuild. I'm happy with our draft pick. I'm expecting the promise of potential. We're not gonna say playoffs, wrong P. I'm gonna say potential, and I hope we can improve. And I think things are looking up, and we shall see. And I'm ready for fantasy football because I think my team might be sleepwalking in the real NFL this season, so I don't know. This year we're gonna have maybe an off year, so I'm really gonna be focused on fantasy football. And fellas, I'm glad to be back. And go vote, people. It's important. Yeah. And one more thing I didn't touch on either was the victims of Orlando.
Yes.
Sad incident. A lot of information is being revealed. It's just not please do anybody that's listening to this podcast and see the news media and they portray this as one thing, just do your research, find out more information, because days later more information is coming out about this guy, and try to hold your judgment, believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. So that's my final word.
Yeah. And my final word, fun topic. The first Batman, Michael Keaton, is literally the best Batman of all time, and that is the best Batman movie of all time. It is the first one.
Better than The Dark Knight.
Okay,
it's better than The Dark Knight. And the reason why I say that too, that's the best Joker as well. I had to really watch Joker. It. To me, that's the best.
You know what? You're entitled to your opinion. I rewatched it, and
you can argue it.
Yeah, I thought he was dancing around to too many Prince songs, but hey.
But that's part of the Joker too. He's still fun. He's a Joker.
There's different ways to play him, I believe.
Yeah. So I just think, in my opinion, that's the first Batman is the best Batman.
In my opinion, the best Joker is the guy that played Luke Skywalker. That's just my opinion.
My man Mark Hamill.
My man Mark Hamill cartoon.
Yeah, he's best Joker. He encompasses all that.
The Killing Joke will be out in August, so.
Stay tuned.
So, all right, y'all.
Go vote, y'all.
Go vote 100.
Peace.
You can listen and download to all of our episodes of The Table of Truth on iTunes. Just search The Table of Truth podcast.